Welcome to Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, food, relationships and mental health. Our weekly co-hosts are Dr. Delvena Thomas, Imani Warren, and Chef Irie. Now introducing our host, Miss Nicky Gelin.
Hey y'all, and happy Hump Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of MIA Magazine Presents So. I'm your host. I'm Nicky Says You Only Live Uno. And I hope you're having a great Wednesday. You're about 60% down the hump. So now, this show is brought to you by our wonderful sponsors, the Florida Lottery and Duke and Dame Whiskey, and also FAMU Medical Marijuana and Research Institute. Now, y'all, get credible information and engage in a safe space to learn and talk about cannabis. Educate, learn, and talk about cannabis right here within Florida. So that being said, I want to segue over to our next segment. So this Friday is the official premiere of Ready to Love Season 7, and it's taking place right here in Miami. So MIA Magazine and MIA Media Group, we are hosting a watch party in conjunction with Social Exchange and The Urban this Friday at 7:30 p.m. Here's the trailer. The show the trailer. So if you've missed out, you have to tune in this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Ready to Love Miami premiere. And let's show the trailer right now.
It's getting hot in here.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Ready to Love is back and coming in hot from Miami.
So ready to love.
Come on, Miami.
Adonis is here for love.
I was like honey and there was bees around.
If you've been kissing, raise your hand.
Ready to Love, new season, Friday, July 29th at 8/7 Central.
Okay, so, it's going down this Friday. And again, we're hosting a watch party. So let's show the flyer. So you can it's open to the public. It's a free event. There's no charge. It's taking place at the Urban at 7:30 p.m. So to RSVP, email rsvp@miamediagrp.com. Again, RSVP, send your email to rsvp@miamediagrp.com. So again, it's taking place this Friday at 7:30 p.m. at the Urban. We are going to be watching the watch party all together. And we're also going to be talking to the cast members as well. So Miami is Miami ready to love? We'll find out on Friday. So now, y'all, don't forget also on Saturday, I'll be hosting the Curlfriends Expo, also known as the South Florida Natural Hair Expo, on Saturday at the Palm Beach Convention Center from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you have not gotten your ticket, now is the time to get your ticket. So again, this Saturday, I'll be there. Y'all see my fro? I'm a big Afro natural hair advocate. I do love my braids and my faux locks and my wigs, all that stuff. So on Saturday, we're going to be talking everything Afro, everything natural, everything kinky, nappy, all that good stuff. So I'll see you Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Curlfriends Expo. Now, lastly, one more thing I want to talk about. It is Miami Spa Month, okay? I love my spa treatments. I love just everything, my salt baths, my saunas, my deep tissues, everything of that sort. And now is a great time to take advantage of Miami Spa Month. The lowest rate I see is $109. And the highest I saw was maybe about, I want to say $200. It doesn't matter because we're giving our viewers a chance to win a free gift certificate to a spa of your choice, totaling $109. So all you got to do is visit MIA Media Group on Facebook or the MIA Magazine on Instagram. Click on the link and just comment a participating spa. Just comment a participating spa for your chance to win a free gift certificate. So now the moment we've been waiting for, we have a special guest tonight. He is internationally known. He's an artist, a muralist. He is a curator, a visionary, and is a creative type. You may have seen his work all across South Florida. I actually took a picture. If we can show his picture right now, that'd be great. But I literally took a picture in front of his work, I want to say about 3 years ago in 2019, before the pandemic. And I had no idea it was him. I saw like his like signature on the project and I tagged him. He actually commented on my post like 3 years ago. So we're going to be talking to the talented Nate D, also known as Miami Nate on Instagram. So Nate D, how's it going?
I'm good. How's it going? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Hump Wednesday. How are you keeping cool? It's like hot nowadays. Like it's like 95 degrees outside.
The plus about South Florida is everyone has central AC. I always tell people that there's a special place in heaven for the person that made that. But aside from that, the walls, the doing mural work right now is brutal. Like I just came off of a project that was about a month long, a little bit over a month, and I ended up doing 4 pillars. So I was like about a week on each pillar, but where the pillars were and the location that it was at used to be swampland. So it was humid, there was mosquitoes, it was getting there and sweating from when I got there to 7 hours later to leaving. So it's not fun. It's not fun. And then it's just, this summer just seems like it's hotter than any other summer. I feel like I say that every summer, but I think this time I really noticed the difference. It's just ridiculous.
No, but you said 7 hours later. Like
yeah.
What?
Yeah, I put in long hours, but I'm one of those people, like once I start on the project for that day and I get focused, I don't want to leave. So usually I'll bring everything I need so I don't stop painting. Like I know artists who they'll paint for a couple hours, take a break, go eat and all that. But I know me, if I stop and I get out of the flow, then I won't want to start again until I come back.
Yeah, because the flow is going to be like kind of cut off and then the energy is different when you get back. So 7 hours, that's a very long time. Like, do you have like any kind of type of music, or how do you have like any kind of additional support to help you while you're in your zone?
Lots and lots of water. In terms of music, I don't like to paint in silence. So it's probably 90% Afrobeat and then 10% everything else, which everything else consists of a lot of Caribbean music, soca music, compa, a lot of hip hop, if it's not the Afrobeat, and just anything. I like a lot of different world music, house music, just whatever I'm feeling at the time. There's certain DJs I like to listen to. Like I love any mix by Major Lazer. I'll listen to Michael Brune. I'll listen to Gardy Giroux. So that's what it is. It's usually a party at the wall. A party at the wall, you know. But it's a good time.
So speaking of compa, tell us a bit about your background.
So I was born and raised here in South Florida. Grew up in Broward County. Didn't go to Miami until college age and stayed there for a while. And then I ended up moving back. Now I currently live back in Broward. But the Miami Nate name is from back then. Plus, in my social circle, there was more than one Nate. So they called me Miami Nate because I was always going to Miami. So anyway, so I grew up, born and raised here. My mother's from New York, Haitian. My father's from Haiti by way of New York. Went there for school. That's where he met my mother. And then they both, after they got married, decided to move down here. And then they had me and my 3 other siblings. But yeah, I'm a native through and through, you know?
All right. So I'm a big, suspois legume kind of girl.
Yeah.
What's your go-to like Haitian food? You know, just asking.
I don't know. I like maybe I love that. My sister hates it, but any like Haitian style saltfish, and herring.
Ooh, with a spaghetti?
Yeah, I don't like it with spaghetti. I like, what I'll usually do is I'll have it by itself, or I'll have it with the cornmeal, with the maï moulin. So I'll have it like that. Or just I kind of do my own thing. Like I'll take the kasab, the bread, and I'll have it. That's what I love it with. Usually, if I'm eating it, it's with that, and then I'll have it as spicy as possible.
Oh my god! Oh, with the pickles.
Yeah, with the either pickles or I just have like usually I'll like every time it's my birthday, my mother will drop off a bowl of it at my house,
Oh,
and I'll say put as much Scotch bonnet in it as you
oh,
can.
Scotch bonnet. That's Jamaican. I mean,
well,
that's,
Haitians use Scotch bonnet too.
well,
Don't
I'm
they
Jamaican,
too?
so I'm just saying, like I'm repping, Scotch bonnet. I think of back home, so okay,
Yeah.
but I hear you.
But it's one thing I always say, like all the islands have so much more in common than they have different. Like if you see the surface, you're like, oh, they're different. But then when you really dive deep and you look at it, everything looks the same in terms of the food. The only difference is when you see little variations or some of the main ingredients are a little bit the same or a little bit different. But there's always like I'll eat something from Trini food that remind me of Haitian food. I'll eat stuff from Jamaican food. To me, looks a lot of it, especially the rice and beans and all that stuff. It looks a lot like Haitian food. It just tastes way different.
It
because
tastes different,
yeah, they're using different ingredients. I feel like it's healthier too than Haitian food. Haitian food is very rich, very oily, very heavy.
Yeah.
Like,
I've seen the
when I'm
difference
eating clean,
myself.
I'm not eating a lot of Haitian food as a result.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
trying to
Lagine,
stop.
that Lagine be like, I understand, I hear you.
Yeah.
But we're just a boat stop away. We can.
Yes.
That's a whole nother show that we can talk about. But we're all connected. Even the Cubans, like we all eat the same beans, the same rice.
Yeah.
Like we may cook it differently, but it's the main root ingredient that we all use.
Yeah, it's that Afro-Caribbean, that common thread of Afro-Caribbean throughout all of the Caribbean,
The
Some
diaspora.
islands, they embrace it more than others, but it's still there. You can't deny it when you look at the little things, especially in the culture of it, and then like the music and the drum patterns and the food and the staple foods and stuff. It's all there.
It's all there. So when did you realize your passion and your gift for this type of art?
So I've always loved art. I've always been into art since I was a little kid. I had a babysitter. He was actually college age, family friend. When my parents used to go away or had something to do, they would drop me and my sisters off at his house. And he did a lot of editorial drawings and drawings for the Sun Sentinel magazine. So while my sisters were watching TV, I would sit at the table and just watch him draw because he would work on his projects. And for me, it was like the closest thing to seeing magic in real life. Like you start out with like a blank piece of paper, pull out a pencil, pull out a pen, and then within 20 minutes, he's creating entire worlds and universes on a 2D surface. So he saw that I liked it, and I wasn't really paying attention to TV when he was there. So what he would do is he would when he would babysit, he'd give me a piece of paper, let me sketch and draw. And then he also told my parents I was interested in it. And then my mother took the lead, and then she started putting me in like Saturday art programs and stuff like that. So I've always loved art. I'm traditionally trained. I got into muralism maybe, I say 9 years ago. I had an opportunity to do a wall, didn't want to do it. The curator of the art show kind of bullied me into doing it, which I'm so glad she did because it was one of those things I fell in love with and I didn't even know. Now how many years later, and that's actually the majority of the work that I do, although I'm a classically studio trained artist,
Oh wow.
But that's the majority of the art that I do.
You have like every aspect of it, aspect of it. And just kudos to your babysitter. Are you still in contact, or like have you?
I can probably reach out to him if I want to. I know where he's at. We're not in contact. He's much older than me. But when I do run into him, we catch up, we talk. But it's not one of those things like he's part of the crew. But I do appreciate him. He opened my love for it. Him, and then also my college mentor. Those are the two that I would have to say. There's like maybe 2 or 3 people that were like key people at key moments in my life that had a strong impression on what I am now in terms of just creatively and technically, and just my love for art and my love for painting.
Yeah, because based on what you said earlier, like your babysitter was the first, like, I guess, touch point.
Yes.
To touch on that part of you, to awaken that part of you. Yeah.
Definitely.
So describe your work. Like, what can we see when we see your work?
I do a lot of different type of work. The main thing that I do, I I hate using the word urban contemporary because that's such an umbrella term, and that really doesn't mean anything. But a majority of the work that I do, there's an example of that mural. That's one of my favorite murals. It's not there anymore. But
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
they
I
knocked the
loved it.
building. Yeah,
I
they
love
knocked the
it. It's
building
kind of
down.
cut out, but there was like a line at the top part. It's a little cut off, but
Yeah.
when I saw it, I had to take a picture in front of it. That's me, y'all, in front of his work.
So it's an old fire station that was condemned. You see, that's the kind of work that I do, though. If you go back to the last piece,
Yeah.
So it's usually a lot of portraits. I juxtapose people against animal and against painterly backgrounds, and a lot of the times the people wearing masks. It's usually women, not always women, but a majority women of color. And the mask represents ideas of power, and the wearer of the mask is tapping into that power that the mask represents. So it's like a metaphysical idea. But that map is just that mask is them really just channeling that power that they already have within themselves. So sometimes it's the theme is general terms and general ideas on how we picture like what we attribute lions with or tigers with or different birds with. And then other times it's framed culturally what that animal represents within a given culture. And then that's the power that the person is trying to exude that's wearing the mask.
So why like an animal? Like where did that influence come from?
It's kind of weird. I kind of fell into it. Before I was doing this series, I was focusing primarily on a series of imagery based on quotes that I'd find in media and books and music, and I hear someone say a quote, and if it stuck with me, I kind of memorize it or write it down, and I create artwork around that quote. And then one day I was reading a story about this person that was living through one of the world wars, and he grew up in France. And as a child, they were basically putting him through training on what to do if like the Germans come in and bomb the city. So like the kids had to learn that when you hear the air raid sirens, that it's time to everyone get up, put on your gas mask, we go to this part of the room where it's more safe, stuff like that. And I just thought it was a really interesting story, but I think the thing that stood out to me the most was the fact that when they first started doing those exercises with the kid, they give the kids gas masks, and the kids were afraid of the gas mask. They see the gas mask and wouldn't want to put it on because they were so scared of it. So what they did, somebody had the idea, let's make these gas masks look like animals, look like characters, stuff like that. So that's what they did. But instead of the kids embracing it, the kids were still scared of it because now they're attributing it with their favorite character, an animal that was killed or destroyed or whatever, and they're putting it on their face. But from that story, I ended up doing 2 or 3 paintings with people wearing masks, and I just got a really cool reaction. And I also like what I did. I liked how the painting came out. I liked the reaction of it. And then I just started thinking about the idea of masks and why people wear masks and the uses of masks, whether it's ceremonial, whether it's cultural, whether it's historical. Even the idea of wearing a mask to hide who you are from people in order to navigate the world. So that's when I realized I could really dive into this and really just create work and explore it for a very long time. And that's kind of what made me stick with it. And I've been doing it since then. I'll do other stuff too, depending on the commission. But whenever there's a chance for me to put the mask back in, I definitely do. And then when it's personal work, 9 times out of 10, it's the mask.
You know that I'm so glad to hear this perspective because when I first saw that mural, I thought it was based on like your spirit animal.
Yeah,
like,
well, some people do. Some people do. That makes sense though. It's all part of it, you know?
It's all a part of it. But up until this very moment, I had no idea that the vision came from what happened with the kids and the gas masks. Like that never would have crossed my mind as far where that concept came from. So yeah, by you explaining that story and what I was thinking at that time, total opposites. Because again, I thought it was like spirit animals, you know. So we have a comment. We have a comment here. Hold on.
Okay.
So we have okay. Well, I missed. So we have a couple of Facebook viewers and they like to comment during the show.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody writes, extremely talented. And we have Michelle. She goes, those are phenomenal pieces of artwork. So thank you, Michelle, for chiming in.
Thank you very much.
No, but thank you so much for explaining that. And Yeah, it took my mind back into like a whole different historical mindset. So it's awesome hearing like the interpretation and where it came from, where that vision stemmed from. So thank you for that. And when I saw that vision, that mural, I'm a Leo, so so lion. So when I
Yeah.
saw it, I was like, yes, stop, picture opportunity in front of this project, this this
Yes.
concept. So I'm like, that's my spirit animal. So that's where it came from for me. So now, okay, so you mentioned commission in your last statement.
Mhm.
So, did you always see yourself making a living from this type of industry?
Actually, no, I didn't want. I loved art, but I didn't see a feasible way to live off of it, so I didn't want to do it. My mother's a nurse, RN, and then she went into. By the time I got to college age, she was a rehabilitation specialist. And then my father, he went to school for accounting. So they were pulling two different directions. She was saying, get into medicine. Well, first of all, they're Caribbean, so medicine's always one of the options.
Mhm.
So she was saying get into medicine because there's always going to be a need for sick people, because there's always going to be sick people, there'll always be a need, you'll always have a job. And then my father, the way he was looking at it, he started out as an accountant and then he ended up leaving accountant. He left finance and went into ministry. But at the time, he was he was telling me, get a business degree because no matter what industry you're in, there has to be the business of running it. So that's what he was kind of saying, that would be one of my go-to. Although at the time, I love math now, but at the time I hated math. So
Right.
I decided, okay, medical might work, and I still knew I loved art and I wanted to do art. And then I remember I wear contacts. So I remember one day this was like when I was in high school, I was talking to my optometrist. So I'm looking at her like, you don't look like you work hard and I bet you make a lot of money. So I was like, let me ask you something. I don't know what I want to do. Like, what's the range for your your profession? And she's telling me, it was, I think she said it was something like 100 to 200,000, depending on who you're working for, if you're working for yourself, whatever. She's telling me all. I was like, yo, just to tell people one or two, is this better? Is that worse? Like,
Yeah.
what do you like better, A or B? Like, I was like, all right, I'm going to do that. So then I went to school, was a biology major in undergrad, and classes weren't hard. I hated them. So I switched to PT. Classes weren't hard, hated them, and then I think there was something else within the medical industry that I was thinking about doing, and I still didn't like it.
It
So
wasn't
finally, I
you.
was like, yeah. So finally, I was like, look, I really just want to take art classes. So I took art. I said, worst case scenario, I'll teach it. I'll teach it while I'm painting, and that's kind of what happened. I started at Broward College, transferred to FIU, stayed there, got my bachelor's, then actually went back for my master's and got a master's.
Oh, that's
at FIU.
that's your gift. That's
Yeah.
you. Like,
And then, but FIU is probably one of the greatest things that happened, at least for my art personally, because at FIU, that's when I fell in love with painting because I had a professor named Professor Pip Brandt. And I think this is like, I had her maybe her first year that she transferred to the school. She came from the Midwest. And she made me fall in love with painting because she showed me contemporary work. And then there was a bunch of artists at the time called lowbrow artists that were painting things that I could relate to. And I saw it, and the work blew my mind. I said, I want to paint. And then from there, I realized how hard painting was. So that made me fall in love with it because it was so challenging. And then later on, I ended up learning under this professor named David Chang. And then David Chang, he's the one who taught me to really paint. Like the way I paint now, it's all comes from stuff that I learned under him in undergrad and then coming back to him and just solely focusing on taking courses with him during my master's classes.
oh wow, no, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So you had like so many touch points like throughout your journey
Yeah.
that brought you to where you are right now.
Definitely. I definitely know if it wasn't for David, at least, I wouldn't be the artist I am now.
Yeah.
I would definitely not be the artist. I wouldn't be able to paint the way I paint now. I wouldn't have an understanding of paint the way I have now. And it's definitely because of his courses. And when I saw his work, it was funny because I didn't really take him seriously when I first had him. But then he showed us one of his pieces, and then he sat and did a live portrait for us and knocked out one of the best paintings I'd ever seen in my life in 2 hours. of a live model. And from there, I was like, I have to learn everything I can from this person.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you, David. Thank you. Okay. So tell us about your first like international work.
So the first time I left the country was in Seoul, South Korea. I ended up I was running a project for my friend who had a store in Wynwood at the time. It was called One of K. So he wanted to do a mural project featuring multiple artists on the side of the wall, on the side of the building. It was an open blank wall. And he asked me if I could run the project, curate the project, bring in some artists for the project. So I started reaching out to artists, a couple artists that I knew. I was still new to the scene, so I didn't know a lot of people, but he said that there was one artist that was visiting from Japan that was friends with him. It's like, make sure he's on the project. So it was an artist named Jay Shogo, amazing dude. Couldn't speak any English, but to this day, I think we're really cool and we're really tight. So anyway, I put Jay on the project. That's how we became really cool, really good friends. And then he started doing some work for a manufacturer that was in Seoul, South Korea. And then they were doing he pitched them the idea of doing a street art festival. And he started naming different artists. And then I was one of the names. They saw the work, they liked it. And then one year he's like, do you want to have your work in South Korea? I was like, yes. So he's like, all right, these people are going to contact you. They're going to pay for everything. Just send your work. So I sent it. He sent me pictures of it. It looked amazing. It looked like a really dope festival. And then the following year, he hit me up again. And he's like, all right, they want you to send work again, and they want you to come. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, they're going to pay you. It's like, they're going to pay you. They're going to put you up. They're covering everything. And they just want you to paint during the festival. I was like, how much? He's like, I was like, I don't know how much they want you to paint, but they just want you to paint. And I was like, Jay, I'm coming. And at this point, Jay had an assistant, so it was all through his assistant. And she spoke better English than him anyway. But anyway, I went down there and it was amazing. Like before that, I had done traveling just on vacation and on projects, but it was all in the United States. Usually when I go somewhere after about 5 days, even if I like the place, I want to come back home. I miss home. But I remember I was in South Korea for a week and a half, and I was only American. The rest of the artists were from different parts of Asia. And I remember saying to them, because they had us all in the same hotel, and I was saying to them, like, as I was seeing the date approaching, I was like, I don't want to leave. Like, I don't want you guys to leave. I don't want to leave. I love this city. I love everyone here. I love everything about it. And I've been to Asia before, but I've been to China. And China, culturally, the way that people are, they're very polite, very nice, but they're nothing like South Koreans. South Koreans, they're amazing. Like, because they understand American culture, the interaction with them is very easy because they get it and they get you, and you can get them because they're loud. They can be boisterous. They can be very warm. Whereas like when I was in Beijing, when I was in China, when I was in Hong Kong, everyone was just like,
wow. They just kept it going.
Yeah, and the ones who spoke English,
like, you from the West.
Yeah, and even the ones who spoke English, they were still very formal. There was always this invisible wall, you know. Even when they talked to you and they were interacting, they were very polite, but everything was formal. Whereas when I was in South Korea, like after day one, everyone just let it all hang out. Like the day I flew in, the owner of the company took us to dinner, and he was getting drunk and talking to us, telling us about his life, and he was trying to get us drunk. I had to tell him no more shots, please. I've been on a plane for awesome. 20 hours, and now you're getting me drunk, you know. But that was probably the most, like one of the most amazing experiences. I knocked out 3 murals in the week and a half that I was there. They just took care of us. They took care of us, and I ended up meeting a gentleman over there named. He was like, I call him my handler. His name was Jeff, but he was a South Korean that was American and grew up in New York. And to this day, we'll trade messages back and forth. And I always said, like, when I was leaving, I was like, Jeff, man, if you were in the United States, you'd be my friend, you'd be my friend.
Oh, that's so sweet. Wow.
At the end of the day of painting, he's like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? You know, we go out at night. It was an amazing experience.
Yeah, just based on what you're saying right now, like I feel it, and I'm sure like you can like say more about that experience. Oh, yeah. You know, it left such a really great impression on your mind and your growth and just experiencing a whole different culture in a different like country. So I feel it. Like when you talk, I feel it. So what are you working on right now, and what's coming up next?
So I just finished this big mural project with FAU at their Davie campus. So that's the project I was telling you where I had to do the 4 pillars. Right now I'm in between any major projects because I have something that's supposed to happen with Overtown, but the date hasn't been set yet. They made the announcement, which will be cool. Speaking of which, if anyone's free, hit up. There's something going on. Go to, if you know who Adonis Parker is.
I know Adonis. Yeah.
All right, go to his Instagram. They're doing something really cool on Friday where they're doing like an art talk and they're engaging the public at the cultural center that's over in Overtown. And a lot of the artists that are in that group show are also going to be featured on this project that I have, where we're going to be doing large scale murals, which is going to be really cool. So that's going on. Then I have a bunch of little smaller projects. I've been talking to Keon Williams from the Urban.
Oh yeah, the Urban.
I've done a lot of work with them in the past. I've done 3 murals for them already. So I'll be doing another mural for them, which probably I'll start it this week. It's a small piece, so I'll probably be able to knock it out in 2 days. It's only like, I think it's 8 feet tall by 12 feet wide. So I can knock it out pretty quick. And those are the major things. And then a bunch of private commissions that people have been waiting for me to have enough time to do. So a lot of paintings, portraits, and stuff like that until things start getting crazy for Basel, because it's around the time when everyone starts.
Yes, we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah. Well, aren't you popular, Mr. High Demand?
Trying to be. You know, like, it's one of those things. You talk to a lot of artists, we don't want to stop because we panic when we stop. You know, when we have more than 3 days off, we're like, oh no, where's the work? You know, so because of that, I always try to keep it going.
Of course,
unless I need a break, then I force myself to take a break, and I'm back on it.
Yes, yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't get to that point. So, now, okay, if you only had one paint color left. If you only had to use one paint color, what color would that be?
Electric. Well, I call it electric blue. It's more like a cobalt blue. But if you look at a lot of my murals, I try to force it in the mural. At some point, there's this really bright cobalt blue color that I try to put just because I like the energy of the color. And I think it looks good against anything. So I always try to work it into the backgrounds. But that's
is it like an aqua, light blue, a neon blue? Like what do you
almost like a neon blue. It's close to a neon blue. Yeah, it's close to a neon blue. I call it electric blue because it's not neon, but it's like that step right before it turns neon, you know? So that's the color.
Cool. So it's like very bright and like intense and like neon-ish.
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm not giving up any color. I'm not giving up that color. You can take them all.
Okay. I got you. Okay. So what would you tell your younger self, and how old would you be?
So the main thing, I wouldn't say really much to my younger self except for one thing, and that is whatever opportunity comes up that you're scared of, lean into it and do it. In the beginning, there were a lot of really great opportunities and moments where I could have had a big jump forward in my career, especially the years that I was really struggling to get noticed and stuff like that. And a lot of times, these things, I'd be lucky enough where these things would get offered to me or they fall on my lap, and I would be scared. And it was scared of failure in front of people. You know, it's also that idea that I know I could paint, but sometimes maybe I'm not as good as I think I am, you know, and then these people will see that, you know, stuff like that. So like, I remember there was one time this gallery owner, her family owns yachts, and they had a fleet of yachts, and there was some sort of like hip hop awards going on down here, and she wanted me to go on a boat with a bunch of rappers on the boat, famous rappers. It was when Yeezy was not Yeezy. It was what's his name? Lil Wayne. It was when Lil Wayne. Remember that there was like a year or 2 year period where Lil Wayne was dropping a song like every week.
Yeah, before Drake came out. Yeah.
So around that time, he was throwing like a birthday party on a yacht. I got invited to the yacht to paint live, and I was going to get paid well to do it, and I said no. And it's because I had never painted live before, and I was afraid. You know,
because of fear. Yeah,
because of fear. A lot of times, by the time I did a mural, I had been offered murals a few times before that, and I always said no because of fear. You know, the reason why I ended up doing my first mural is because I wasn't given a choice.
You were forced into it. You told us earlier.
Yeah, my friend, she was running her name was Kaz, she's another artist. She's like, listen, I'm running this show. I have a wall. Such and such has a wall. Louis has a wall. We have a wall for you. Other people want the wall. I'm not giving it to them. I'm giving it to you. So I'll see you tomorrow, and you better paint this wall. And when she said that, I was like, okay.
You started sweating. He was sweating, huh?
Yeah, but I did it. And I knocked it out. I thought it was amazing at the time. Now I look at it and it wasn't even the greatest mural, but it made me fall in love with it and say, I want to do this again. And then it led to the next mural, which got featured in the New York Times, you know? So, I mean, and then from there, it just kept going. It kept growing, you know? And then what was great about the murals is the murals, doing one mural would bring me work for another mural.
Yes.
Whereas you do a painting in the studio, you're by yourself, you paint it, and then you try to sell it, and then you're on to like trying to hustle the next painting, you know, and still build a name for yourself and get noticed. And this is before Instagram was big. And I mean, I was trying my best with Facebook and maybe MySpace at the time to give you an idea.
He said MySpace.
I'm that old. You know, so that's what I would say to my younger self. Like, if it makes you scared, then you're supposed to do it because there's growth on the other side of that fear.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of it. Like there's so many, okay, so back then there were so many lost opportunities. And because of that one friend that forced you into it, you discovered like a whole new side of who you are.
Yes.
So yes. Get out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to open the other door. Walk through the other door. Don't be stuck behind that same door. Open the knob to the other side. It's okay to do that. So
So the same professor, Professor David Chang, he used to say to us, if you shoot for the moon and miss, you're still among the stars.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So when he said that, I was like, yo, he's so right about that. Like,
that voice popped up in your head.
Yeah, that's real talk. So and I saw it, you know, after finally doing a mural, I saw what happened, you know, and I saw what it meant. Even one of the biggest murals I had done at the time, before that, I think the biggest mural I'd done was maybe 500 square feet. And I got a job with the city, and they're like, can you do something over 1,000 square feet? And you have to paint it from the 3rd to the 4th floor of the building using a lift. And you have to run this budget. We're going to give you all the money for everything. And they're telling me this. I'm like, yeah, I could do it. I wanted to say no, but I said no. Yes, I could do it.
Yes, I could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do it. And I remember the day before I was supposed to start the project, I called to order the equipment, and I started almost having a panic attack. I'm like talking to the guy on the wall, on the phone, and he's like, I need a lift this big. And then I'm asking him all these questions. He pauses. He's like, well, tell me about the project. And I told him about the project. He's like, oh, no, you can't use that lift. You need to get the biggest one we make.
It's a good thing you spoke up.
Yeah, when he said that, my heart started racing. I was like, what?
That anxiety kicked in, overdrive.
Yeah, but I did it and I killed it. And then it also taught me that any opportunity that you get is because you're ready for it. You've done so much work before that opportunity to lead you to that point. So even if you don't know how, you're going to figure it out. Like at the time, I was like, I don't know how to do a mural that big. This is 1,000 square feet. I was like, I'm used to doing something close and I can do it by sight. When a wall that big, if you're drawing an eye, you can't tell how big that eye is compared to the rest of the wall and stuff like that. But at that time, I had done enough work, met enough people that Trek 6, to this day, I give him credit because he's one of the people that really used to sit down and just school me and drop knowledge. And I used to take it in. I don't even think he knew he was doing it, you know, because he had been painting walls forever. And I'd ask him questions and he would lay it all out for me. So even that wall, like, I figured out that I could use the windows on the building as reference points because I asked him one day, I was like, how are you doing these big walls? And he was like, oh, I'll let you know you're here. And then the wall he was doing, it was in front of a parking lot, and he was using the parking spaces on the ground as reference points to draw out.
Oh, that's smart. You know? Yeah.
And then things that are around the building. He's like, you see that pole? That's a reference point. I just have to make sure I keep standing in the same spot when I look at the building. You see this window? That's a reference point. And he told me all that, and I took it all in. And I was just like, oh, school me, please, you know? And he, you know, he doesn't live down here anymore, but I always wanted to run into him and just tell him like how much he helped me in the beginning when I was just trying to figure it out.
With the
because a lot of people they won't do that, you know?
Yeah, so, that's true.
But like I'm going off. But Yeah, my point is, if you get an opportunity that makes you scared, you got it for a reason, and your path has led you to this point, so you're ready for it. And you just have to figure out how to fill in the dots. Say
Yeah,
yes and figure it out after.
exactly. It's kind of similar to fake it till you make it. Like you'll
Yeah.
figure it out like
Although I
after.
hate saying that, but yes,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
it's true. It's true. It's very
No,
close
no
to
pressure. All right.
that.
So Nate D, thank you so much. And
Thank
when
you.
will your latest project be done so we can check it out?
I don't have a start date for the urban. I would say it's probably going to be done within the next 2 weeks because Keon Williams, the one who runs the urban, and I
Yeah.
think he's a partner, he's a co-owner, but he saw the design yesterday and he's thumbs up on it. So I'm just waiting for him to get everything prepped on his side. Then I'm going to go in and do my thing. So
All right.
probably within the next 2 weeks, if you go to Rise and Toast, if you go to the party the Social Esquire does, got to give my nods to my peeps. Then you'll see the piece out there. It'll be a dope piece. I don't want to say what it is.
Yes.
Just be
Actually,
prepared
we're
to
going to be there this Friday for a watch party. So we're going to be at the
Oh.
Urban presented by MI Media and Social Exchange. So yeah, we'll be,
Nice.
but we're going to see you again in about 2 weeks when you're done with the project. So
Definitely.
Nate D, thank you so much again. Congratulations on your journey and just your gift. You sharing that with us. And yeah, we'll see you soon. In the meantime, y'all, you can visit him on Instagram at Miami Nate. Again, that's Miami Nate on Instagram. All right. So thank you so much again and enjoy your Wednesday night.
Thanks, you too. Take care. Good talking to you.
You too. And now on to my co-host. He is an NBA and NFL chef. He's also a guest chef host on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. He's also been featured on Taste the Islands or Taste of the Islands on American Public Television. So Chef Irie, you there? Were you there?
I am here. Oh, I guess I should have turned on my big light, but too late now.
You look good. You look
What's
good.
going on, girl? What's going on?
Not much hair. Just hair.
Yes, it's 5 o'clock someplace. That's what I've been told, and I agree with that. So today we're having Grace Foods Tropical Rhythms Pineapple Ginger mixed with a little J. Ray and Nephew whites and a little nutmeg shaving. Simple as it comes, my darling. It is so good, so refreshing, so delightful. Summertime makes me feel good.
Okay, your version.
So here what? So I'm bouncing out of town tomorrow because it's the Jerk Festival, the Grace Jamaica Jerk Festival in New York this weekend on Sunday. And so not really to talk about jerk, but let's talk about the festivities and stuff that we're gonna doing. So one of the things that I'm gonna be doing, is just kind of highlighting, apart the travels, so I'm gonna be going from New York to Pennsylvania to Boston, just bounce around and really document, because it's a long time since I've really taken a trip anywhere.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, so after New York, it's definitely going to be fun. But to talk a little bit about Jerk Festival, something that's really dear to my heart. Not just a festival, but of course, they to being able to be part of something that's very powerful in our country. Being Jamaican, and we have so many different products and goods and foods and all that good stuff. And when you're in some place, that gets to highlight, especially one of the things that we are very well known for besides reggae music, is jerk, and basically it's the birthplace of jerk. As people know it, whether it's mild, spicy, nuclear, atomic, you name it.
Atomic. Ooh.
Look at man, jerk doesn't need to be atomic. I like to taste chicken. I like to taste fish. It needs to taste what it should be. But we're going up, this weekend. I'm going to have a great time. So, of course, jerk festivals, for the ones that are produced by the company here, the entertainment is always a big part. So, we're going to see people like Protege, Christopher Martin, Lila, and Lila Le, and Lale, Yes.
Leela, well, go
Romy and
ahead.
Virgo. Yeah, Nadine Sutherland.
Savannah gonna be there too. Savannah,
I'm not
we love you
sure.
like mango.
And of course I get to meet the beautiful Angela Yee from the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And I gotta go research my notes. So if I misspeak, I hope nobody crucify me. The young lady, the lady that I think produces or writes Love and Hip Hop, Mo Dixon's, I think her name is. So she will be competing under the culinary tent with Angela Yee. So they'll be doing a cook-off,
Oh, okay.
and then of course it's New York, so it's election year. So
Oh,
politicians are gonna be out coming to say
all the
hi and all that good stuff. So
producers,
I'm gonna be having a
mayors,
lot of
all of
fun.
them.
Yeah, but the biggest thing besides the Jerk Festival for me is that I finally get to see my family.
Oh,
I haven't seen my family in New York since 2019.
oh, the pandemic.
So as the day go, needless to say, I need to go pack and finish all that good stuff. But yeah, Jerk Festival this coming weekend.
What time is your flight
So,
tomorrow?
huh?
What time is your flight tomorrow?
My flight tomorrow is at 1:15, I think. If I
Oh,
do,
you
I
have
do
some
it
time
there.
to pack. All right.
Yeah. So that's why we start the cocktail early because
Yes.
we well I can't we Uber into the airport tomorrow. So
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Once you get through TSA,
I know, right?
time.
Yeah,
I don't care what time it is.
it don't matter, man. It don't matter, So looking forward to have what's the niceness, some jerk chicken, some jerk pork, some jerk fish. If I can find somebody to give me some roast yam, because a lot of the vendors,
What about a
they
breadfruit?
there'll probably be roast breadfruit up there too.
Mommy.
That too, and some escovitch fried fish. So whatever the vendors are selling, I'm be walking around doing a little video vlog, go some live when I can before I gotta go do real work, under the tent. Because I'm the host of the culinary tent. So so the Jerk Festival in New York and the Jerk Festival here in Fort Lauderdale. So I'm the host of the culinary tent. So I MC, that's where all the chefs do their demos, and we have guests, and
So big up Eddie Edwards.
Eddie Edwards for sure from Rhythms Marketing, the crew, June Minto, Karen Gray, Billy, Hassan, Richard, everybody, and their sponsoring partner, VP Records. So
VP
without them,
Records. Yes,
and all the associate sponsors, for the festival, it's gonna be mad because we haven't had Jerk Festival in New York since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming that people, they've been having other concerts and stuff, but I know people want to come out, and catch a vibe, man, catch a vibe.
Woo! Okay, well, Chef, congrats again, and make sure you take lots of content because we want to live through you at the Jerk Fest in New York.
Man. Yeah, we're gonna make sure. I forgot to go buy. I need to get make sure I have my phone charged. Even though at the festival I usually walk with my charger. But sometimes it's more.
What about you need to get a power charger, the power bank?
Yeah, I need to get a power charger. What would you recommend? Can I go down to Best Buy and still get one? Or
Walmart? I got
Walmart?
from Amazon because I don't go to stores anymore.
It ain't gonna. Will it come in time if I get it from Amazon tonight?
No.
Actually, it probably would. I just have to give them the address.
Pay the extra. You can get it within probably 2 hours. If you expedite and pay the shipping, you'll get it in 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah, Amazon don't play. You pay the extra.
Really?
Got you. Yes.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna send you the brand I have, but every time we go somewhere, I always have my power bank with me because you never know.
Yeah, for sure, right? Yeah.
Yes.
But usually, like I said, I'll have my other charger because we have the electricity there and everything.
Okay.
So we'll be good. But I just want to make sure I catch different vibes, that's going on from people setting up. Every year I try to do it, but I don't always get to go live. And if I do, I sometimes, so now that I understand, social media a little bit more. Yeah, we will be doing. Yeah, right.
See you.
Yeah, so it'll be awesome. So salute also to today is National. I'm not drinking. It's National Scotch Day. So for
Oh,
people
I'm
who are,
drinking whiskey, so I guess I
well,
kind of count.
there you go. So yes, today's National Scotch Day. So people who are out there, live it up, drink your scotch, drink your whiskey, have a cigar, and do remember have some great food and fire experiences. And the next one coming, please maybe invite us all, to your
Yes,
food and
we'll
fire
plan that.
experiences.
We'll plan something with Duke and Dame.
There you go. Summer is almost over, baby. I'm just saying, and
Yes.
for all you people who are having anxiety attacks already, because school free paper soon bought for school.
Yes.
Okay, and so
Facts.
this week and next week is
no sales tax.
no sales tax. So
no
for all
sales
the people who are
tax.
looking, getting all them, pencils and books and notebooks and computers and everything, now's the time to get those things, and you don't have to pay no sales tax.
Well, Chef, thank you for that, and safe travels tomorrow. And we'll be looking out for your content.
Please do.
I follow you all over social media, so I'm gonna be looking for your content that you're gonna be posting. So, all right. Well, congrats again, and we'll see you next week. Salud. And y'all, again, don't forget we have the Miami Spa Month giveaway. Just enter on our Facebook or our Instagram page for your chance to win a $109 gift card to a spa of your choice. Just comment in the comments or in the thread a participating spa that is a part of Miami Spa Month. 109 gift certificate. Okay. I need a massage right now. All right. So, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you Friday at the Ready to Love Watch Party. And if not, we'll see you next week, Wednesday on So. Have a good night.